A curious incident occurred in Tatarstan, which was initially presented as the detention of saboteurs, but later it turned out that it was a banal confusion between Russian security agencies. Local telegram channels reported that in one of the region's fields, police detained a group of people in military uniform who were launching drones. Before that, local residents considered them enemy agents and called the police. Upon arrival, security forces detained all participants, and loud headlines immediately appeared on propaganda channels about saboteurs allegedly operating on Russian territory. However, as Russian media found out, the detainees were not spies at all, using official permits and licensed Russian drones. The pro-war channel Veterans Notes commented on the situation, admitting that there was a misunderstanding between the military and the police. The exercises were not coordinated with local law enforcement, so the appearance of an armed group in uniform with drones caused panic among eyewitnesses. Recall recently, drones operated by Ukraine's security service struck a storage facility in Russia's Tatarstan Republic, housing Shahed-type drones and foreign components used in their assembly. This is not Ukraine's first strike on Tatarstan since the beginning of the full-scale war in 2022, as the region's Alabuga Special Economic Zone is home to a facility that manufactures Shahed-type long-range attack drones and other reconnaissance unmanned aerial vehicles. Ukrainian drones from the Security Services Special Operations Center A flew roughly 1,300 kilometers to strike a logistics hub in the village of Kizil-Yul, igniting a fire at the site. The Ukraine's Security Service statement read, "The Security Service of Ukraine continues its systematic efforts to demilitarize Russian military facilities deep inside enemy territory. Storage sites for Shahed drones, which the enemy uses to terrorize Ukraine every night, are among our legitimate military targets," the SBU said. Furthermore, Tatarstan was subjected to a massive drone attack from Ukraine on August the 12th, according to the regional government's press service. This latest attack from Ukraine is in line with Kiev's strategy of using drones to attack targets deep inside Russian territory, targeting energy infrastructure and military facilities. Residents of the city of Almetyevsk in Tatarstan reported hearing air raid sirens. Eyewitnesses said the monotonous sound of sirens indicating imminent danger and possible bombings.
Some people were injured in an explosion in a residential buildings in the center of Rostov-on-Don, the Shahed telegram channel reported. According to Shahed, the drone crashed into a roofs, damaging at least 10 apartments. Shahed clarified that a drone of the armed forces of Ukraine crashed into the residential building, which was followed by an explosion. An explosion in the center of Rostov-on-Don occurred on August 14 amid a missile threat declared in the city. According to Shahed, the preliminary cause of the explosion was an attack by a Ukrainian drone. The channel's authors learned that the strike hit a residential building, after which a cloud of smoke rose into the sky. Emergency services are working at the scene. Several apartment buildings in Rostov-on-Don were damaged as a result of a drone attack. Acting governor of the Rostov region of the Russian Federation Yuri Slyuser reported this. As a result of a UAV attack in Rostov, several apartment buildings on Telmana and Lermontovskaya streets were damaged. Emergency services and representatives of the Rostov administration have left for the scene, the statement says. Meanwhile, RT reports that several people were injured as a result of a drone strike on a residential building in Rostov-on-Don. According to information from public groups, 50 people were evacuated from the house. According to eyewitnesses, the sound of a moped, typical of a UAV, was heard before the explosion.
Это просто хардкор. Жесть. Жесть. Раненый он уже.
Погнали, Влад, народу, ты Глянь, ебать.
Да, вон кусок дрона валяется. Просто посмотрите, в соседних домах повыбивало окна, стекла. Здесь вообще жесть происходит. Вот, тушат пожар.
Газ, что ли, здоровый?
Дрон прилетел.
Где, куда?
Вот в этот дом прилетел, в крышу. Сбоку, вон, видите, сбоку. Посмотрите. Жесть. Ребята, такая жесть. Посмотрите, все разбито. Все разбито.
Пиздец, ебануло просто только что.
Бля, там... А, в крышу влетел, гля. Разбился дом. Вон. Пиздец, прямо рядом с нашим домом.
Охереть.
Thousands of North Koreans are being funneled into Russia under UN-sanctioned bans to work grueling, near-forced labor shifts as Moscow scrambles to replace workers lost to the war in Ukraine. BBC reported the information. Interviews with escapees and South Korean officials describe a system where North Korean men are flown to Russia's Far East, escorted straight to construction sites by security agents, and held under tight surveillance. One worker, Jin, names of workers quoted have been changed for safety, recalled being warned upon arrival. The outside world is our enemy, he said. He was put to work on high-rise projects for more than 18 hours a day. All 6 workers interviewed described punishing routines, up to 6 a.m., building until 2 a.m. with just 2 days off a year, and sleep in overcrowded shipping containers or unfinished buildings. Waking up was terrifying, realizing you had to repeat the same day over again, said Tae, who escaped last year. Another worker, Chan, said supervisors beat men caught dozing on the job. Some people would leave their posts to sleep in the day or fall asleep standing up, but the supervisors would find them and beat them. It was truly like we were dying. Experts say the deployment has surged despite a 2019 UN ban intended to cut off Pyongyang's overseas labor revenue. Russian entry data show more than 13,000 North Koreans arrived in 2024, many on student visas that officials and researchers describe as a workaround. South Korean intelligence estimates that more than 10,000 were sent last year and that the total could eventually exceed 50,000, with some likely headed to reconstruction projects in Russian-held Ukrainian territories. In June, a senior Russian official acknowledged that 5,000 workers would be sent to rebuild the border region of Kursk. The conditions are truly abysmal, said Kang Dong-wan, a South Korean professor who has interviewed laborers in Russia. He said workers often toil at night with little safety equipment. Wages are largely siphoned off as loyalty fees to the North Korean state, with the small remainder withheld until return. Tactics, experts say, are designed to prevent escape. Tae said learning that Central Asian crews earned far more for far less was shattering. I felt like I was in a labor camp, a prison without bars. he said. Andrei Lankov, a Seoul-based scholar of North Korea-Russia relations, said Russia's war-driven labor crunch has made these workers a convenient fix. Russia is suffering a severe labor shortage right now, and North Koreans offer the perfect solution. They are cheap, hardworking, and don't get into trouble, he said. As controls tighten, more ideological sessions, curtailed outings, fewer are managing to flee. For Jin, who heard other crews jeer, "You are not men, just machines that can speak." The threat of losing his pay entirely convinced him to run. These workers will be the lasting legacy of Kim and Putin's wartime friendship, Lankov added, predicting deployments will outlast the fighting itself.